Hey, this is Leon Poe, man. You listening to Causeway Street Podcast.
What's up, y'all? This is Kenny Anderson. Y'all listen to the Causeway Street Podcast.
For all you new listeners out there, I'm your host, Joseph Pavone. I'm joined as usual by my two co-hosts.
I'm Sean Dutra. What's up?
Yeah, talk about
walks
yourself.
on the B.
There you go. Joel Pavone. What up?
I'm a Pisces. The most romantic.
It leads off with that.
The most romantic sign in all the zodiac.
Oh,
You couldn't tell by my voice already.
oh,
Sexy.
I'm the producer of this ensemble that we call Causeway Street. In case you missed it,
Hey, Bill Walton here, Celtics 1986. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Yeah, come here for nothing but the truth. This is where dreams come true. Thank you, Boston, for my life.
where are we going?
You guys are such homers.
It's your boy Terry Rozier. You're listening to the Causeway Street Podcast. Now listen to my boys Joe, Sway, Joel, and Sean.
Back with another edition of the Causeway Street Podcast. Joseph Pavone here. Sean Dutra, Joel Pavone in the house. Usual suspects here.
What's going on?
We got Zach Pelican on the line.
it's a lovely day when you got Zach.
Yeah,
Lovely
see, this is the thing, though. He's calling in because this is a conversation I've been trying to have for quite some time now. And this is an episode I couldn't wait for because Zach and I, we share very different opinions with this particular topic. And that topic has to do with Isaiah Thomas. So we're going to bring in Zach in just a moment, but first things first, I want to hear both your takes over here, all right? Joel and Sean, I want to hear what you guys think about this. The fact that I think Isaiah Thomas does not get enough credit for what he's done for this team. The fact that he not only was the second best scorer in the NBA last season, but he continues to be sold short, pun intended, because of his height, because people don't think that he's the kind of leader that can lead a team to a championship. And I just don't understand why he continues to get so much flack for what he's been doing for this team, what he's been doing for this rebuilding era. And now as we enter, what is it, year 5 now of the Brad Stevens era? I mean, you look at these last 2 big free agency signings, I don't think they happen without Isaiah Thomas. That's my take. I got plenty more to say about it, but I'm just going to open the floor for you guys. Guys, what's your take on this? Why does Isaiah Thomas not?
For the floor, buddy.
Why does Isaiah Thomas not get enough credit? Okay, I want to hear it.
No, it's the fact that it's everything that you just said, pretty much. Like, he's a point guard. He's 5'9". Yes, he's obviously the best player on the Celtics team, but I mean, if you make it to 2 straight All-Star appearances, you're on the first
All-NBA.
Yeah. Well, not
sorry,
NBA,
second.
But
excuse
no,
me.
But all NBA nonetheless.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 All-Star appearances on 2 straight playoff teams. I mean, you're the best player on each of those teams. You should deserve a max contract. I mean, that's just the bottom line. But I mean, if he's 5'9", he's got a hip problem now. Like, he is a point guard. Like, you can throw all those facts out there, but the fact is, in my opinion, he should be making more than Kyle Lowry's making. And that's if Kyle Lowry I think it was like a 3-year deal he signed, a 3-year extension, he should be making an extra year and just the same amount of money per year. That, in my opinion, that's where like the line that's where it starts for me if I'm Isaiah Thomas. So,
well, I don't even think it has to do with the fact that it's not even about the max contract deal for me.
It is.
It's about that, but at the same time, it's also about people who
That's a part of it.
They want to see him.
No, it is.
Well, no. But listen, there's people out there who want to see the guy traded before his contract expired.
Yeah.
That is what I don't understand. I mean, obviously,
Gary Tanguay.
Obviously the two things, they coincide with each other. The max deal talk obviously has a lot to do with him. People wanting to see him traded, but why does he not deserve a max deal? And why do people not understand what all the money's being thrown around throughout the NBA? Why wouldn't he get a piece of that?
No, I'll say this: if Danny Ainge isn't going to sign Isaiah Thomas, he has to trade Isaiah Thomas.
Well, yeah, I know, obviously, but why do people want to see that happen?
Well, I don't want to see it happen, but I
understand that, but other people,
right? But I'm just saying, like, that's obviously why people are saying trade Isaiah, is because if you're going to lose him for nothing, then that's stupid.
No,
I just
feel like people don't think he's good enough to lead a team to a championship, and I don't understand that.
So if you're in that camp, you have to say trade him. If you say let him play out the year and see how it happens,
But I think Sway wants to know the why.
Right. I want to speak
That's
to
what
that
it's
camp and explain why why is he not good enough?
That piece that Sean brought up about the max contract, that's a big part of it, but it's not like the whole conversation. If you guys kind of understand what I'm trying to say, the point of Isaiah when it comes to that not being a quote unquote max guy is probably the same reason why he doesn't get enough credit, or he's not viewed as like someone that could be a part of the future, right? I think the second part is why give this guy all this money if there's other players that are better than him and that could be available, right? Is that another piece? Is that fair to say?
Well, like Kyrie Irving?
Maybe. Or someone else who's going to be
because I mean to be
a
a
free
better
agent
player
soon or is available for it via trade.
To be a better player than Isaiah, you have to it's up there. I mean, Isaiah, I think we can all agree, even if you're the biggest Isaiah doubter, he's a top 12 player in the league last year. I mean, you have to give that to him. Last year, he's a top 12 player in the league. So, I mean,
I think those guys would rather see, like you said, top 12 player. Well, they want to see 11 guys in Celtics green more than him.
Right.
And I understand that because I don't understand how someone who continues to get better and better and puts himself in a conversation as arguably the best scorer in the NBA, why would you want to see that guy leave?
So when Joel says, trade him for somebody that's, out there that people think are better, there's not a lot of options out there that are better than Isaiah Thomas in the NBA right now.
No, I see what you're saying, but like
that are available.
But like for those that say don't give him the max money or give him like a 3-year, I'm in the camp for the 3-year. By the way, not to give him max money. That's still I still think he deserves that.
If you're gonna do that, just trade him. Then there's not too many people you can trade to do as an upgrade over Isaiah Thomas. If you're trading him now and it's not for Kyrie, then I don't know why you're trading him. You're gonna get more draft picks. You're just gonna build towards the future. You know what I mean? Like why would? But so I don't know.
All right, let's bring in Zach. Let's see what he thinks about this because this is obviously a conversation I've been wanting to have with him pretty much since the end of the season when Celtics were eliminated by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Zach Peliquin joins the Causeway Street Podcast. What's going on, Zach?
Hey, Zach.
Just quietly listening in the corner. But, do you mean conversate or get yelled at about this whole entire Isaiah Thomas thing? I have a feeling you don't actually want to
let's hear from the horse's mouth. Let's hear from the horse's mouth.
I want to have a conversation here. I mean, this is just between you and me. Pretend these two aren't here. This is between between you and I.
That's hard to do. They're awfully loud. They got a lot to say.
Don't listen to these two voices over here.
I'm literally right here.
So, okay, so let's start with the whole Kyrie Irving situation. I mean, it's obvious from the conversation we've had in the past that you would love to see Kyrie in that position instead of Isaiah Thomas. Do you think the Celtics would make a big mistake in not trying to figure out a deal, or are you afraid the Celtics would give up too much for Kyrie Irving? What's your take on the Kyrie Irving situation?
It's a tough one. And would I rather see Kyrie over Isaiah? Yes, but I say that because of the fact that, one, he has a much more appealing contract situation right now. That's probably the biggest thing. But two, I will be honest, I think Kyrie is a better player than Isaiah Thomas all around. And I know that everyone's going to throw in the face, well, he's not that good defensively, and Kyrie's he hasn't had a season as good as Isaiah Thomas just had. He's never had a season that good. So in terms of if you want to measure one against the other, Isaiah Thomas is technically the better player in terms of the highest of the high that we've ever seen in his career. But at the end of the day, Kyrie Irving is 25 years old right now? 26 years old at the absolute oldest. I probably should have checked that before I hopped on. But at the end of the day, you've got a younger player on a better contract who physically, a lot of people would say, is probably going to be able to live up to the beating he's going to take night in, night out in the NBA, being a little bit bigger and a little bit more physically capable. And whereas you have an Isaiah Thomas that I think there's a lot of people out there that are waiting for his decline. And that's the sad part is that, he's done a great stuff. I don't want to take anything away from Isaiah Thomas as a basketball player. He's a fantastic basketball player. He's a great leader. And like you said, he's probably the main attraction that has gotten Gordon Hayward and Al Horford through the door over the last 2 years. But at the end of the day, one of the most painful realizations about Isaiah Thomas is that we've never seen a player under 6 feet tall do what he's done. We've never seen a player have this type of success in the NBA. So it's unprecedented, and I think a lot of people are waiting for that time for where he's just going to fall off, and it's just going to end, and this whole entire thing is going to feel like a dream in the past. But yeah, I think it's going to get to that point where people are waiting for it to go bad. And that's, I think, the biggest fear right now with Isaiah Thomas is that, yeah, he's got a contract issue, but even if you signed him for a max contract, give him the next 5 years or whatever it is that he wants, when is it eventually going to go bad? Because we don't know. We really don't know. And that fact that we don't know, I think that mystery is probably the biggest fear that people have when it comes to Isaiah Thomas.
I think, Zach, you are one of those people waiting for his demise. The way you just said that right there, you're like
Zach's
some
waiting.
people are out there waiting for his demise.
Zach's waiting for
you
that.
mean you? Oh, you mean
Zach's
you?
waiting for that big fat I told you so. That's
I
what
know
he's
it's
waiting
gonna
for.
happen, man. But no, man, you bring up good points. I mean, I don't disagree that Kyrie's a better player than Isaiah Thomas. Like
I don't either.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. I don't think that's maybe you can make it a debate because what you said last year's numbers, but Kyrie's a better player and is on a better contract and he's younger, so it makes perfect sense. But
well, he's also playing alongside the best player in the world, so
right.
yeah.
But I mean,
so that's gonna bring your numbers down a bit.
Sure,
right.
Right. And could he be the best player on the team that the Celtics had last year? Would Kyrie ever be the best player on that team? Do you think they have the same success?
Yes.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, but the problem is that if they want Jaylen Brown and the Brooklyn pick plus Crowder and Isaiah Thomas.
It's too much.
That's a lot.
All right, so then let's ask this question. Let's ask this question straight up. I'm guessing straight up if their contracts were similar, you would trade Kyrie Irving. I mean, trade Isaiah Thomas for Kyrie Irving, correct?
No, if you're saying they both have 1 year, or if Isaiah has
at the money
years
at the money match.
At the money match.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. If they both had 1 year of term left, same
Yeah,
thing.
it's years over. It's years over cash value for me. If you told me Isaiah Thomas is signed for 18 mil for the next 3 years, I'm fine. I have nothing to say against that.
Yeah.
But if you're telling me I have to pay 30+ million a year to have Isaiah Thomas, or I get to have Kyrie for right around 20 million a year, then I don't know. I mean, that seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, I think that's where everyone's getting hung up on is anyone and it's the same thing with me. Like, I know what the Celtics have to do to sign Isaiah Thomas is it's got to be 4 years, 120. It has to be. Like, I don't think Isaiah Thomas will even start to listen to anything less. But the number 30 mil a year for a guy who's going to be 30 what?
31.
30.
Oh, well, no, 28. He's going to be 29.
No, he's turning 29 in February.
Yeah.
So when he signs a contract, he'll be 29, and at the end of the contract, he'll be, 33, 34?
Yeah.
That's a long time. That's a long time for a guy you'll be stuck with 30 mil a year for. So, if you get hung up on that, I get it, but, you also just have to think. He's been the best player on your team for the past 2 years. It has been the most important person in Boston Celtics basketball since probably Paul Pierce. That's it. He's earned this, and if the Celtics don't give it to him, it's all about the dollars per year. That's all it is, and it's gonna suck. I think they should give it to him, and I think they have to, but will they? I don't know. I mean,
I don't think a 3 to 4 year window is so crazy for someone like Isaiah Thomas. We're not talking about someone who's 31, 32. Yeah, of course he's undersized, but at the same time, we have to think that someone like Gordon Hayward is going to help relieve him of, being the only go-to guy.
May I say something?
That's huge in this situation.
My biggest fear will be signing Isaiah Thomas, and in year 3 and 4 of that contract, he's the sixth man off the bench. You're paying him $30 million a year. He'll be productive.
Why would you?
But
why do you think that would even happen?
If you have him locked in, though, he's gonna be.
So players can't ball up after 30?
No, I mean, yes, players can ball up after 30.
Mean?
I'm just saying that's my biggest fear.
And if you want to talk about a size thing, I mean, a great comparison that we've talked about before on this show is Allen Iverson. AI was still getting it done after 30, 31, 32.
Not really.
What do you mean not really? Even at 30, what was he, 32, 33? I guess after 33 is when the decline started. But that 1 year when the Nuggets went to the Western Conference Finals, he was putting up 26 a night. And he was 33 years old.
All right.
I'm just saying, I don't get
hope so.
how people are so against seeing Isaiah get a max deal. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, I'm for it. That's my biggest fear.
That's just weird, though. That
Why?
You're for it. And you're like, I'm for it. I'm like, yeah, he should. That 4 or 5 years. But I don't know about that.
No, because
third, fourth, fifth year, though.
Okay, I'll tell
You're
you.
potentially saying, like, he can be good for only 2 or 3 more years.
Yeah,
That's what you're saying.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And then you're getting mad at me when I'm like, yo, 3 years. He should get no more than 3 years.
No, but I mean, I think you're going to have to sign him for 4 years. But I think if you can pair up Isaiah Thomas in his prime for 2 more years with Horford and Gordon Hayward, and then you see the young guys build up like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, like Marcus Smart if he stays on the team, if he signs whatever. That's a squad that you can possibly win a championship with. In that you buy yourself a 2-year window though. If it's this year and then it's probably 2 more good years of Isaiah Thomas, in my opinion. But you did it with Al Horford. You gave Al Horford $120 million or $130 million, and you knew he's right there. You know what I mean? Like, is he going to be able to live out this contract and be a $30 million a year player for 4 years? Probably not. But you do it, so you open up a window. Now you got Hayward, who's going to be in his prime for the next 5 years. He's going to be the leader of the team. So even if Isaiah does have a 2-year window or 3-year, whatever, this year plus 2 years, it's worth a 4-year deal, even if you're just getting 2 years out of him. But my fear is that if he turns into a 6-man the 3rd year, it's a short window. But is it worth it?
But by then, you're talking about players like getting paid over 30, 40.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
then him and Horford are on like the lighter side of that.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, I don't think the cap will continually go up for the rest of our lifetimes, but
Well, I mean, at least for the next 5 to 10 years, right?
I don't know.
It didn't go up as much as we thought it was going to this year.
That's true.
We're talking about that was big. I mean, next year is supposed to be another 5 to 7 million, but nothing's guaranteed, especially if the finals and the playoffs go as short as they did again this year.
Well, I'm going kind of based on James Harden's contract. But by the end of that thing, he's getting paid like 46, 47, 48 million.
But
actually,
see, that's
actually
the future. But yeah, Zach brings up a good point. We all thought that the Celtics were going to have like a $115 million cap ceiling.
Especially since last summer,
it never happened.
They could have signed 2 max players.
Yeah.
And they only signed 1. So it's like, where did the rest of that money go?
Aaron Baines is in there like, hey, right here.
You're looking at him.
All right, Zach, it's been a while since we talked. So what's your take on this Celtics roster, the additions, and of course the subtraction of Avery Bradley? What's your take on how this team can potentially become in this upcoming season?
Well, I am excited. I think they've had a lot of good additions, a lot of young additions. I think that's going to be the big thing, that they kind of cleared out that old guard that we've gotten to know over the last couple of years with Kelly Olynyk.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, we didn't want to say when he was on the team, but yes, absolutely.
I mean, Miami's picking up like the Celtics scraps. They got Olynyk and they just signed like Jordan Mickey.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
look
Jordan
out,
Mickey, send him out.
Look out for the South Beach Instagram pics of those two chilling.
Oh, good God! I don't even want to. I don't want to open my mouth all that.
Kelly's gonna get a tan over there.
Oh my God! I don't want to see that. That's gonna be disgusting. But Tyler Zeller, I mean, just a lot of guys over these last 2 years that we kind of over the last 3 or 4 years have gotten to know, and that was really the quote unquote core of not only the bigs but really of this team, the young the young players who we thought were going to be maybe some of that next generation walking out that door. So a little bit different in that sense. I mean, there's guys like Yabusele that we're going to have to watch and see how much he can grow in year one. Can he be a contributor right off the bat? Daniel Tice, another guy who, I mean, he's just German mystery man who nobody's ever seen play, but apparently is going to be a contributor in year one.
I'm on Team Tice, man. I fucking love
Team
Tice.
All right, he
Tice.
looks like he should be able to play. I don't know if he can.
I was calling him Theus the whole time.
A year ago, but
Oh yeah,
who
I
knows?
was.
I was calling him Theus the whole time, thinking that's how you pronounce his name.
I was so pissed
It
when they
looks like
signed
it
him.
should
Though.
be. It should be pronounced that way, but. They've added a lot of young bodies, and that's one of the big things that I think is going to be something to watch throughout the course of this season. Is one of those bigs is going to have to play big minutes. There's no way Al Horford's going to be able to play 40 minutes a night. So we're going to see one of these guys step into a pretty major role, and I mean it's going to be a rookie year for one of those guys that they're going to have to be able to figure it out pretty quick, and an offense that can these guys shoot? Can they spread the floor? Can they do what it is that Brad Stevens wants them to do? So I'll be anxious to see if one of those guys can really step up and grab some major minutes. And then on top of that, Gordon Hayward, I mean, could you find a guy who fits this offense better, can fit this system better? I mean, this offense was born when Gordon Hayward and Brad Stevens were put together. So this thing should work pretty well between those two. Yeah. So I'm excited to see those two. And then, I mean, on top of all of it, and probably the most exciting thing is Aaron Baines. I mean, I know Sean is very excited to see him coming.
Oh, Jesus! I do like it when you talk and you get yourself so happy that you just start laughing. Though, you're just talking about Gordon Hayward like a happy grandmother.
I am. He's exciting. He's exciting. He is a very, very good basketball player. He's not a tremendous defender, but he can defend his position pretty well.
He's a team defender, right? He's not like a one-on-one guy, but he can run the. He can be in the.
No, he's not. He's not a shutdown guy that you're going to put on the perimeter. But at the same time, he's like call him a league average defender. But he can score. He can pass. He can move the ball. He's got the ability to handle the ball at times as well. And he's like 6'8", 6'9". Yep. We haven't had a wing this talented in a long time, and it's exciting. It's very exciting.
What do you think about Marcus Morris?
I think you paid a little too much to go get him, to be totally honest.
I forgot we got a battle on this, man.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
I forgot.
Continue, Zach.
My biggest gripe with this offseason would have to have been the fact that you traded away Avery Bradley for too little. Not even that. I understand it. You had to trade a player. He made the most sense. This trade was probably as good as they could have done because the entire league knew that they had to make a trade at that moment.
Exactly.
But the problem is, you're telling me that Avery Bradley in the right package, you couldn't have gone and gotten yourself a better player than Marcus Morris. That's the issue I have with it, is that you could have put him in with Marcus Smart or any number of picks or whatever, and you're telling me you couldn't have got yourself like a stud power forward or a stud center or something like that to really make this team pop. I don't know.
Yeah,
it feels like there's a missed opportunity there.
So what? Did you want to see them get Markieff? Is that what it is?
Markieff guy. He's got his Markieff jersey there, man. He's like, no, listen though. This is the whole thing.
For the record, I don't know if we've even talked about this, but from day one, from the moment that news dropped, Sean was all about this trade.
I liked it.
Loved it.
I loved the trade.
I
loved it. No, because you have to think like
trash.
If the Celtics because in my eyes,
but this was salary though.
In my eyes though, I view it as, would you trade Avery Bradley and a second round draft pick or whatever for Marcus Morris and Gordon Hayward? Yes, any day of the week you would do that.
Yes, but it's not. That's not what it was, though.
It was. They were over a barrel. They were over a barrel.
No.
They were over a barrel.
No. Yes, that math doesn't work. I'm sorry. That math does not work.
No, it does. Okay, if literally
you're talking to our capologist, by the way.
Okay, no. If the fact they had to dump somebody. They had to dump somebody to sign Hayward, right? Yeah. They had to.
Right.
So
you're right.
The whole league knew they had to dump somebody. And they were looking at Marcus Smart like, get the fuck out of here with Marcus Smart. We want Avery Bradley. And we're going to give you like just a little bit. You know what I mean? Like everybody probably threw in a little bit.
Well, isn't that how Danny Ainge kind of trades?
But it was on a time crunch. It was on a time crunch.
I get you. But
you can't.
Doesn't he usually, there's a motive for his trades, right? So in this case, it was for salary. Save some salary. Oh, and guess what? We get an upgrade over like Kelly Olynyk, right? As an example.
I love Marcus Morris. I think the Morris twins, in my opinion, are vital to any team. You need a guy like that on the team, and I think that's exactly what he's going to be for us. He's gonna put up better numbers. He's not Kelly Olynyk, okay?
He's better. No, I agree with that. I think he's better. I think he's better than Kelly.
He's better than Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's an upgrade.
And even if he's worse than Kelly Olynyk stats-wise, even if he puts up less stats, he's actually brings something to the table. Except, hey, is his hair in a bun or is it long tonight? Let's see how he plays.
Hey, come on, Sean. Don't sell him short. Come on.
No.
Game 7.
Marcus Morris.
Game 7 against the Wizards.
Hey, it was a great game. Right? It's a great game. I'm not going to say it's not a great game.
That game,
but you can't bring that up in an argument.
That game got him $50 million.
All right,
think about that.
Marcus Morris at least brings some type of toughness and grit to the table that Kelly Olynyk never brought. So
does he though?
He does, man. He's a Morris twin.
Look,
they are not friendly people.
Game is grit now.
Hey.
What the hell?
Well, he has to be that guy.
He's on
I'm
trial,
telling you right now,
probably.
he has to be the Celtics
Did
version
you watch
of
him last
Draymond
year
Green.
and
Okay, and I'm saying
Detroit?
I'm not
I mean,
saying he has to
wasn't-
be an all-star, but he has to be that enforcer. He has to be the Celtics version of Draymond Green, that tough guy down
Yes.
low, the one that
Yes,
pisses people off.
100%.
That's his role.
100%.
All right.
I mean, who else is going to be that guy? Horford
Zach-
can't be that guy.
Zach, let me ask you a trivia question.
Baines
too.
won't be that guy.
Who was the best defender against LeBron James last year in the NBA?
Draymond Green.
Nope, Marcus Morris. Marcus
sure?
Morris, the best.
Yeah, by some strange
defender.
metric.
No, it's
Sean's right.
No, points per possession. That's a regular metric. When he was
Yeah,
guarding,
because he probably played like 6 minutes a game.
no, man. Check the
When they're winning
stats.
by 70, they don't need to put him on the floor.
Check the stats. He only had 20 points per possession.
This is the stat that
He only had
Morris.
20 points per
this is the
possession.
stat that the Pistons show the Celtics.
the league average was 31. All right, so I mean,
All right.
Seems a little high, but
well,
I mean, not point, but points per possession over 100 possessions. You know what I mean?
okay, all right, that makes sense. Then.
Well, I've convinced myself. Right? It's been a little while, right? It's been like about a month since the trade happened, and I've just accepted the fact that you traded a big chunk of your defense for salary reasons, obviously, and for like you guys was talking about, for an enforcer, right? Enforcer down low that the Celtics lack.
I mean, he's
First, to a certain extent, right? But at the same time, I can't look at this trade as, Avery Bradley for Marcus Morris straight up as, Marcus Morris is better than Avery Bradley.
No.
Because that's not what this trade was about.
No, they couldn't. I think Avery Bradley would have been great. He would have got great return if they traded him last year, but they couldn't trade him last year because he was playing one of the best. They were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and he was the second best player on the team. Couldn't trade him. But if they did, without him having, if he could have went out hold on, time out. If he could have went out west, if they traded him last year out west, let's say he would have been playing on the best deal on probably a championship contender, hands down. But I mean, who is going to sign him for all the money that he's going to get out there? Because some team,
Detroit's going to.
some team like Detroit or the Detroits of the world,
Phoenix,
the Phoenixes of the world, the
Sacramento's
of the world, the Magic of the world, they're going to go out there and say, all right, yeah, Avery Bradley, good character guy. We're not going to win for a while. Man, we'll give him $33 million a year. He'll get 3 years for like $30 million easily. Somebody's going to spend that money on him because they got it to spend.
Zach, can this team get to the NBA Finals?
With the way that the Cleveland Cavaliers have fallen apart like wet tissue paper, yeah, absolutely can.
I love wet tissue paper, dude. I love it.
It's the worst thing in the world.
I
Really.
love it.
So can Boston beat a Cleveland team at their absolute strength? That's going to be the big question this year. If they're not, I think there's an opportunity for them to get to the finals. Can they beat Golden State? Absolutely not. But that wasn't the question.
I'll give you my big Cleveland prediction of the year. Why the Celtics will be a better team than Cleveland at the end of the year. Because if LeBron is trying to go for a new contract next year, if the Celtics seem like they're a better team, March, he's shutting it down, dude. He's shutting it down, man. He'll shut it down and just wait for that contract. Because if he is actually leaving Cleveland, what does he have to do there? Like, why would he?
I don't know, man. LeBron in the playoffs is the type of player that he'll get to the finals. Even if he loses, he'll just want to average a triple-double to show everyone that he's still the greatest player in the world.
You're probably right. But no, I have a feeling that LeBron is like spiteful asshole.
But Zach, you know that Celtics team's going to be led by Isaiah Thomas, right? Your boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But that's it. What if they do trade Isaiah Thomas? Like, what if they do trade him? Let's say it's not for Kyrie. Is there anything out there, Zach, that you would trade Isaiah Thomas for? Like, what is your package that if it's not Kyrie, if you don't want to sign him, fine. But what's the deal? Like, Kyrie Irving is sort of like, a 4-leaf clover that just came out of nowhere, and you're like, well, that sort of may work, but I don't think it will because it's with Cleveland. Will they trade with you? Who knows? But like, what is the package you're expecting as a good return for Isaiah Thomas?
See, that's the problem, is that Isaiah Thomas he's very, very similar to what you had in Rajon Rondo, in the fact that you have a player who the NBA and their GMs can't really measure his value correctly. because we spent how many years with Rajon Rondo, who was this guy who gave you 12 to 15 points a night, but he was a triple-double machine with the way that he played. And everyone kind of looked at him and was like, okay, well, you got a very good player there. We know he's a very good player, but how do you gauge his value? Because he's not really a scorer. He can't really do this. He can't really do that. And it's kind of the same thing with Isaiah Thomas. You have an undersized point guard who can score as well as anyone in the league, but he's not really much of a passer. He can't defend, and he's only 5'9", and we've never seen a player put up these numbers and have this type of success at his size. So they can't really tell how long is he going to be this good. How is he going to do if you put him into an offense that needs him to be more of a playmaker? If you need him to, well, maybe not defend, but be more of a defender, I guess. I mean, what is his value if you have to change his game a little bit? Because right now he's playing in the perfect situation for himself. Is that they're putting the ball in his hands at the top of the key and saying, "Go after it." And that's what he does. That's what he was born. He was literally put on this planet to do exactly what he's doing in this Brad Stevens offense. And he's absolutely murdering it. So you can't get, is he going to be that same player if you put him in San Antonio or you put him in Portland or if you put him in, wherever? Is he the same player? And that's the argument that I've had, is that if you take him out of this space and pace offense and you take the ball out of his hands, can he still be an effective scorer in this league? That's the problem, is that I don't know if he can be.
If you're gonna make the comparison to Rajon Rondo, then you have to sign him. You have to sign him, because the only reason why Celtics didn't sign Rajon Rondo,
he was an asshole,
is because Pierce and Garnett were gone. They were gone. The window was closed. Like, you weren't gonna if you swapped Isaiah Thomas and Rajon Rondo in the points of the Celticsness there were, right? Rajon Rondo was a free agent after they just came off their worst season in the NBA, and Pierce and Garnett just walked out. They got traded, and it was Rondo's team. And were you going to actually make it Rondo's team? No, you weren't. But if Pierce and Garnett were still there, you would have signed Rondo any day of the week, right? So if that's the case, if you're going to compare him to Rajon Rondo, which I think is a good comparison, then don't make the same mistake, because there's only one Jay Crowder, all right?
No, I got you.
There's only one Jay.
No, but I think,
all right?
I
so
think,
you're not going to get that same return if you're just going to dump him.
But I think what Zach is saying is like the uniqueness, like something that's like unconventional type of player, right? So then you're saying you traded Rajon Rondo because there weren't no other All-Stars around or were playing with him. In this case, you do have All-Stars or All-Star type players. Yes. So yeah, I see what you're saying, and I see what Zach is saying.
Yeah, I think the struggle is that NBA GMs are going to look at him and say, well, yeah, he's a very good player. Yes, he can provide scoring. Yes, he can do all these great things. But at the end of the day, how do I measure him up long term against someone like, for comparison's sake, Kyrie Irving? Kyrie Irving, I feel like you can look at him and say, yeah, I know what Kyrie Irving's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Whereas you look at Isaiah Thomas and say, well, how long is this going to last? He could be off the map next year. He could be an average player in no time, because we've never seen a player at his size do what he's doing. So it is a little bit of a guessing game as to what type of player he's going to be from year in, year out. I think that's why you haven't seen him get that big contract. That's why you see a lot of people look at him and kind of have that hesitation of, who do you really want him being one of your max players? And I think that's the issue that you're seeing right now. So what package would I want back from him? I'd want a lot back from him, because he's a very good ball player. So I don't see anything out there that I would trade him for. Outside of, in terms of availability, obviously. But, if you were going to tell me that you could trade Kyrie straight up, great. If it's going to be the entire, it's going to be him, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, plus picks and plus all this stuff, then no. Then I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. And here's one of my fears, too, is that, you trade Isaiah Thomas to the Cavs, Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder to the Cavs, and you get Kyrie Irving back. I'm sorry. I'm betting on Cleveland every day in that series.
Yeah, that's another thing too. You don't. Why would you help out Cleveland?
1 year, that 1 year where they have Isaiah Thomas and Jay Crowder and Kevin Love and LeBron James.
That's another thing that people don't understand.
And Tristan, that squad
and they got Jeff Green,
Jose Calderon. Come on,
hold on,
Derrick Rose.
I didn't say any of those guys. Okay? Right? I'm just saying. I think they easily beat a Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, Al Horford squad any day of the week.
Yeah,
I think you're basically saying, okay,
no one brings that up. You're right.
This year, okay, you guys, this is literally the best players in the Eastern Conference Finals minus Avery Bradley. You just take them like this, and we'll take Kyrie. That team would be stacked for 1 year until LeBron leaves. But maybe that's why Danny's at the trading table so long, and he's like, I'm not giving you all this because LeBron's leaving.
No, that's why he hasn't even made a fucking offer.
I'll give you these two. You can take next year, and then.
Yeah. You know what's funny about the situation? If Kyrie or this report came out before, what was it, July, whatever, when teams started making deals,
right?
Who's to say the Celtics couldn't pull a deal off involving Avery Bradley, a pick, and
easily.
I don't know, throw whoever in there,
Avery Bradley, Crowder,
to make the contracts match.
Avery Bradley,
would you do that?
Crowder.
You would do that? Avery Bradley and Jay Crowder for Kyrie,
and
straight up, and like a second rounder or something, whatever.
Probably be a Brooklyn pick.
No.
Yeah.
Give him the Philly pick.
But you'd keep
either
Jaylen
way.
Brown.
That's
you'd
still a
keep
good
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat. But
would you do that, Zach?
Me, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be a great trade.
See, the whole timing of the situation is what drives me crazy because at the end of the day, I'm still not convinced that he's going to be traded. I don't know why. Something in my gut, think so either. I feel the
something
in my gut tells me Kyrie will not be traded.
I feel the same way.
David Griffin says he's going to be traded.
Oh, if he said it, then
no. David Griffin is irrelevant.
I know,
but he's still.
I don't know if you picked up on my sarcasm there. But.
He still was the Cavs GM. Like he knows how it works there. Like that's the most insider information you get. Why are you dismissing that? Like I said, Brian Windhorst thinks he's going to get traded. David Griffin used to work for the Cavs.
Okay, I'll play along.
He was the GM.
No, I know. I'm not saying that. But
he knows everything that happened up until he got fired.
But listen, you're saying that he has inside information, or he just could say it out of spite because they just fired him as well.
No, no, man. I don't know. Maybe. But he's
just kicked him out the door.
You guys said he wasn't a reliable source. You guys were shitting on that.
If I was him, I'd be like, no, fuck Cleveland. Yeah, they're gonna trade Kyrie. They're gonna trade just to stir the pot. Why not?
Fine. I will only get my sources.
Fuck you doing over there, Zach?
He's fucking loading the Glock right now. What the hell is that?
I will only get my sources from Brian Windhorst and the stench coming from LeBron's jock.
I think you're gonna say from his cube.
From his cube? Oh,
what are you talking about the other episode about how he's the
most annoying
letting it rip in the office.
You know how many? You know how many like LeBron game worn underwear he has in his cube. I'm sure it's all hung up.
Right, he was right next to Woj.
You said they said him. He says right next to Woj.
Yeah, just the worst neighbor ever.
You know what? You know what, Zach? I didn't expect this kind of this talk from you, man. All of a sudden, you're like praising Isaiah. You're calling him unbelievable. You're saying he's like an incredible basketball player.
We've seen the tweets, bro.
I thought you didn't want him on the team anymore. That's the impression I got.
I'm really concerned. You said you're going to pay him $37 million a year, man. That's generous.
Did I say that? I don't remember saying that.
I think so.
I've been drinking all afternoon, so I really don't know. No.
well, now Sean's exaggerating, but at the same time, though, he may be exaggerating.
Listen, he was drunk.
He
man.
may be exaggerating, but at the same time, you are not the anti Isaiah Thomas person I thought you were. I don't know you're singing a different tune, Zach. You're singing a different tune.
Here's the thing. I'm not anti-Isaiah Thomas. I don't think I've ever been in terms of me feeling like he needs to go or anything like that. I don't think I've ever actually fully felt that way. But I will say this. When it comes to Isaiah Thomas, and when it comes to Al Horford, and when it comes to Gordon Hayward, I still look at this team and say they need one more player. So if it takes removing one of those players to get two more, or if it took trading Isaiah Thomas to get someone else in order to be able to get this thing to the next level, that's what I'm for.
Oh, you mean like Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
You mean like Jason Tatum?
I'm not doing that to myself tonight. Sorry, but that's the thing. Like
that's for later.
Team still needs another player. That's what it comes down to. They still need one more.
I think you're off there.
I think we have to sit back and watch what this team does.
Yeah,
I really do.
I think when you're looking at Wait, relax, bro.
Sorry, dude. No. Zach doesn't know what's going on. See, I keep hitting the freaking mic stand. It's making this annoying noise. I need to. It pisses me off.
All right, no. So I seriously think now that I'm really thinking of this lineup, like the Celtics will be fine because they have so many mix and match, and they have so much more depth than they ever had in the entire Brad Stevens era. I know that it's tough to give Isaiah Thomas that deal, but if you get 2 great years from this squad as you watch Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum get better, Maybe it's worth that. Maybe it's worth it to see you can keep this squad, this exact squad, you can keep on the cheap for the next like 2-3 years.
And that's not even mentioning the Brooklyn or Philly / Lakers pick,
which could come up, right?
Could happen.
So do you just say at this point, if Danny Ainge couldn't make that big trade like we always thought he would, and he just went the free agent route, then just keep going the same route. Just sign Isaiah Thomas next year. Have another draft pick come in. Don't trade any of your assets. See what happens, right? I don't know. Because Al Horford will be coming off the books sooner than you guys think. I mean, before you have to sign Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown,
which is the 2-year
Al
window.
Horford will be off the books.
Which is the 2-year window you're talking about.
Right.
Because he's done in 2 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Or his contract is, at least.
You'll probably get one more year. This year happens.
Mm-hmm.
After that, you're going to get one more year of the Al Horford, Gordon Hayward, Isaiah Thomas
trio.
But Al's off the books the next year. So that means instead of you paying this albatross of a contract to Gordon Hayward and Al Horford, now it's Gordon Hayward and Isaiah Thomas. Is it the same thing? Probably. That's why I say stick at 120. 4 years, 120. That's it.
All right, he is Zach Peliquin. You can find him on Twitter at ZapSports508. That is at ZapSports508. Hey, Zach, when are you going to come down and check out the new studio, man? It's been a while.
It's got to be soon, man. It's been way too long.
The studio is sick. Yeah, dog.
It's all right. All right, Zach. We'll check in with you another time. We'll definitely get you back in here before the start of the preseason. So thank you for checking in, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Later.
You guys both did that at the same time. Did you guys plan that or something?
We did.
That was that was good. That was cute. If that was not a drop, that came out of Joel's mouth. He just said that. All right, it's about that time, guys.
Hey, yep. What time is it?
You missed it. In case you missed it.
All right, in case you missed it, Zach Randolph, who was arrested earlier this month in L.A. on an intent to sell marijuana charge, which, by the way, is a felony.
Well, normally.
News has come out about, kind of more like the details of the arrest out in L.A. with Zebo apparently was one of the 3 people that fled the area because there was loud music.
Just imagine
drinking.
Just imagine seeing Zach Randolph running down the street. Like, yo, is that Zach Randolph? That just ran past? Pretty sure that was Zach Randolph. It's like 6'8", just running down the block.
Dude, so he's running like the fastest 300-pounder you've ever seen in your life running down the street. Like
it's like
that has to be an NBA athlete.
He's like zigzagging and shit. Like what the fuck? Like he's got a ball in his hand. Like like he's running through cones.
Headband on.
That's why they know Zach Randolph. Because they asked everyone. Everyone was like, "Yeah, that was Zach Randolph." Just ran.
They're like, hey, have you guys seen an NBA player called Zach Randolph? Oh, dude, this dude that was 6'8" that ran down my fucking street? Yeah, I obviously saw him, dude.
Never seen a guy run so fast at his size. It was amazing.
He had a basketball with him and everything. Had his number 50 Grizzlies jersey on. Looked like a throwback. I don't know.
He's not on the team anymore.
I know. They retired his number, though. How dumb do they look now?
No, so cops were called to the scene because of loud partying, which included drinking, smoking marijuana, and cars that were blocking the street and loud music, right?
Yeah.
So
it was a block party.
So it was pretty much NBA style, block party. Because this is a felony, if convicted, Zebo could be looking about 2 years of being banned from the NBA.
Now, I heard that the only reason why it was intent to distribute is because he had a shit ton of weed.
Yeah, 2 pounds of weed.
Okay.
In his possession.
Any baggies?
Yeah, little baggies, pretty much.
He's probably going to go.
The thing is, though.
He's probably going to go and say, I smoke a shit ton of weed. I'm not selling it to anybody. I got millions of dollars.
No, the thing is, though.
He's not getting intent to distribute. There's no way any court will be able to prove that.
The one that also got charged with the possession of the weed was a 43-year-old felon already. So I don't know whatever was on his record.
He was probably selling the drugs to Zebo.
Well, they both, Zebo and this other character who was charged with the possession of weed. According to CBA, when you're convicted of or when you plead guilty to a crime involving weed, distributing of weed, you can get banned from the NBA. So Randolph, who just signed a 2-year deal with the Sacramento Kings worth $24 million.
Coincidence?
Coincidence of what? Him going to Sacramento? Because he was far away from Sacramento.
He's just like, what can I do to get suspended for 2 years? Felony. Let me just do it. I just signed a 2-year deal. I don't want to play for Sacramento.
Yeah.
No, but dude, I'm changing my game up if I'm Zach Randolph. If you're caught with a felon and they're trying to charge you both on distribution of marijuana, then you just say, well, okay, Frank, I'm going to give you like millions of dollars. Just say you took all this. Go to jail. I'll go back to the NBA. That's it.
Or maybe he didn't know the weed was there. Who knows?
No, it's definitely his weed. I mean, I'm gonna say
that much we know. That's his weed.
Well, old buddy Rasheed Wallace came to his defense.
Jail Blazers. Love that squad.
Stating that Randolph, his old buddy,
Monty Wells on this too,
ain't no drug dealer.
Ho, 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 ho.
He chopped it up as to, and I quote, "The bigger the paycheck, the bigger the party." End quote.
Hell yeah.
So that's why
Ball don't lie, bro. He should just be a witness in the trial and just go out and goes, Rasheed Wallace, ball don't lie. Just get off stage.
Oh, and by the way, 6 cop cars were vandalized that night.
Oh yeah.
So I think
because there was a riot. I don't think anybody dimed after that, right?
Yeah, but I don't think anybody dimed out Randolph. I think they all knew Randolph, and they were like, "No, we don't know who that guy is."
Yeah. So you're saying there ain't no snitches?
Snitches get stitches.
Throw a bunch of Tyreeks over there, huh?
In case you missed it, Magic Johnson and the Lakers are being investigated by the NBA after the Indiana Pacers filed tampering charges to the league offices. And according to these alleged allegations, the Pacers say that the Lakers are guilty of tampering with Paul George while he was on the contract with Indiana.
No fucking shit.
This serious charge, or if they are found guilty, the Lakers, they can lose draft picks. They can pay up fines up to $5 million, and possible restrictions of actually trying to acquire Paul George in the future.
Yeah.
So the Lakers obviously they're denying any evidence of any wrongdoing,
even though they have a bunch of evidence there, probably.
Well, it's underway. The investigation is underway. So all parties are cooperating. By the way,
do either one of you guys think that if they got Paul George and LeBron James, that team is still good enough to knock off the Warriors?
No, not with Lonzo Ball running the team.
Yeah, they probably have to trade Lonzo Ball.
Like, I don't understand why people think that team's going to be enough to knock off the Warriors.
Oh, well, you forget Russell Westbrook is also going to the Lakers.
No, I think LeBron James and Paul George plus.
Okay, that combo,
that combo would
be
dominate.
much better.
Best team in
but he's going to stay put. He's going to stay in Oklahoma.
No,
he just signed
I
the
think
big deal.
Paul George is going to stay in Oklahoma too.
He might. I mean, it all depends how they do this season. And if they're neck and neck or even close to a Western Conference Finals, who's to say he won't stay? Don't
you love the difference?
Another few years.
I mean, normally I'd say like Oklahoma City is probably like a downgrade from any city in the United States, but Paul George just came.
It's about the team.
Paul George just came from Indianapolis, so I mean, Oklahoma City's an upgrade.
Yeah,
definitely from Indianapolis. I would give it at least that.
And you're playing it next to the MVP. Come on,
it's a top 30 city in the NBA. Top 30. So you gotta stay, Paul.
Got
it, and you too, Russ.
It's in the top 30.
It's in the top 30.
Don't you guys find it funny that the big difference between when the Celtics are rebuilding, it's about drafting and trading, but when the Lakers are going through their little shit right now, it's about every player who's going to be a free agent is going to come to the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's how they rebuild.
That was never the case
only
for the
best
Celtics.
players. Only the best players.
Yeah, it was never like,
now,
what
the
Celtics could definitely sign this guy or sign this guy. No, the Lakers are like, no, every guy who's a free agent.
You would never hear, LeBron James could go to Boston.
Yeah, every rumor is that they're going to the Lakers.
Right,
they're going to LA.
You never hear LeBron or Russell Westbrook or name the top 5 players in the NBA. They would never be linked to the Celtics if they're free agents.
Yeah.
By the way, if Paul George signs with Oklahoma City after playing there, I better not hear a single fucking word from anybody calling Boston a racist city ever again in the NBA. If Paul George signs with Oklahoma City, and then they're like, well, the reason why Boston can't sign free agents is because it's racist.
Right.
If Paul George signs there, man, we're off the hook. We're good. They can't use that excuse anymore, man. I swear to God.
What else we miss?
Kevin Durant says he will not visit the White House if the Warriors are invited.
Good.
Shocker, anyone?
No,
nope.
Trump sucks. Why are we even?
This is going to continue to happen year after year as he, remains in office.
Well, this couldn't be and in case you missed it, without the Knicks, right?
Always.
Charles Oakley, baby. Remember,
Oak.
We all remember Oak and his famous February, I don't even know what you want to call it, like scuffle, where he literally got thrown out of the Madison Square Garden because, according to security, he was disruptive. So this obviously happened on national TV while the Knicks were taking on the Clippers, and he was charged with 2 counts of misdemeanor, assault 1, trespassing, plus cited for additional counts of harassment. Oak has accepted a deal, though, to his misdemeanors being dropped, and it's like a conditional deal.
Conditional release?
If the charges will get dropped if he stays out of trouble. Obviously, no legal trouble for the next 6 months, and he has to stay away from Madison Square Garden for a year.
I knew it. For a year.
For a year.
Oh, come on. Why can't he catch a game? Like, why is that? Like, what's he gonna fight them on site if he goes to a game?
I feel like if they didn't mess with him, none of this would ever happen.
It's Charles Oakley, so probably, yeah, that's probably exactly what he'll do. He probably was in the courtroom like, listen, if James Dolan shows up here, you're going to have to restrain me, man. I'm going to fucking knock him out. As he's standing there in like his suit and tie getting tried. There's no way he'll go back in the Garden and not at least punch one dude.
No, he won't.
He will.
Yeah, just from that video. Okay, maybe he was a little tipsy. Maybe he was a little.
Yeah, but they fuck with him first.
The first dude that fucks with him,
we've all been there.
He'd be like,
you're feeling a little tipsy. You want, you know what? This guy, I haven't had a great relationship with him, but let me go say what up to him.
But I'm feeling good. But he never spoke with him though.
But that's the thing. As he's approaching him, people are like back on. At first you're like, no, it's all good, guys. Don't worry, I'm just gonna go talk to him real quick. Like, no, guys, no, seriously, yo, don't touch me, man. Hold on, I just want to go talk to him real quick. Yo, back up, yo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just escalated.
No, but they came up
to the point where it was like,
that's the thing. The first, he'll be that friend.
What do you mean? That's exactly what happened.
No, he can't. The security asked him to leave, and he was like, "Why?"
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
I'm
he
saying
never,
that initial.
He never walked up to him though.
But that's the thing. They did that because they were protecting him. He probably called security and said, "Look, keep an eye on Oak. We don't have a great relationship. If he even comes close to my vicinity, don't let that happen." And Oak, from the video, you could tell Oak was just kind of like, "Nah, guys, it's cool, man. I just want to go talk to him." And then, someone put his hands on him and he lost it.
Yep, and that would happen again if he went back into the Garden.
But who's going to get punched?
Yeah, but Dolan's
going to get punched.
Dolan's probably not going to be there.
And if that happens again, then he's already, what do you call it? He's already violated his probation or whatever you call it, his deal.
Yeah, but
his condition.
Well, that's why the condition is in there. I agree with that condition. Like,
man, let him go to MSG.
No, just
let him take a game in.
Take a year off. Go back when you're a little cooler because you just got released from jail, like Knicks home opener. Or you just kind of done with everything. All of that video, all that talk about it, and you're going to go in and someone's just going to go, I don't think you belong in this section, sir. You're up in the back. And you're just going to go, fuck you, and just start knocking people out, man. That's what I would do.
Well, if you didn't know, Oak is currently a player coach for the Killer Threes in the new Big Three. Catch him
the worst.
You can catch him. You can catch him on TV, getting into it constantly. With
I
Steven
tried
Jackson.
watching that last week. I couldn't get through it.
I think it's some tweaking, but whatever.
Yeah, I know.
There's something there. Just gotta tweak it.
Something there. Yeah. In case you missed it, I mean, I was debating on bringing this topic up or not, but I mean, I think it's too big not to say something about it. Being in Boston and the free speech rally that didn't take place, that was supposed to take place on Saturday in downtown Boston,
shutting it down,
and counter protesters coming out in full force and shutting that shit down. And you know who was probably the most proud online?
No.
Michael Rappaport.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys
was. Well,
the audio.
He's been talking about this since it happened, since what happened in Charlottesville.
Yeah. No, but in terms of, being a hardcore New Yorker, he gave nothing but Boston props. I got a clip.
Yo, Boston. Yo, I've never had so much respect and admiration for your city and the state of Massachusetts as I do today. You guys held it down. You were Boston fucking strong. Salute. I'm a native New Yorker, and when it comes to sports, we have a long history. We fucked you guys in 2008 in the Super Bowl, and then we came back 4 years later and we fucked you again. But this ain't about that. This is about life. Life is bigger than sports. Boston did it beautifully today. You shut them down. I hope the rest of the country takes your lead. This has nothing to do with Bucky Dent in 1978. It also has nothing to do with the fact that Larry Bird is the ugliest motherfucker in the NBA Hall of Fame. Listen, in all seriousness, respect to Boston, respect to Massachusetts. You guys did your thing. Salute.
Well, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see, because you didn't. I don't know if you woke up the day the same way I did, and I was like, "What the hell's gonna happen today, man?" I was like, "Is something going down?" But then all of a sudden, it wasn't just Boston news; it was national news. Everyone knew this clash was gonna happen, and for that, to just
heard about all these groups that were coming from everywhere.
But
you're like, damn, this is gonna be something serious.
Just see 30, 40,000.
I think it was 100,000 more. Yeah, man.
Jesus, that's nuts, dude. That's great.
Shut that shit down. So,
great.
Proud to call myself a Bostonian today.
Hell
I don't know about you guys.
It's a great day for Boston.
Well, this, in case you missed it, is brought to you by
CLNS. When you want the best.
CLNS mobile app. Best in online sports coverage, including us, the Causeway Street Podcast on there. Make sure you download that bad boy onto your Apple and your Android. And that's it for...
In case you missed it.
That's all?
That's all.
Well,
head to causewaystreetblog.com for all your latest news on the Celtics this offseason. Plus, if you haven't already checked out my piece on an upcoming documentary called Hoops Africa, Ubuntu Matters, which is coming out really soon. Check that out. You know, it goes together with the NBA Africa game that happened a couple weeks ago. This just talks about how basketball has influenced life in Africa, despite all the bad stuff that happens there. Anything else you guys want to add?
No, that's it, man. Yeah, check that out. And keep checking out the content that Joel's been pumping out, man. He's been killing it right now. CauseWayStreetBlog.com. Check out all those articles.
You're too kind.
Over on the website, of course. And
follow us on all social media.
Everybody follow.
Yeah.
Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat.
There we go.
I can't wait.
Name them all again.
I can't wait. We're almost there. We're basically less than 2 months away from the tip-off.
Oh, check out the website, too, with... Brad Stevens talking about how excited he is to start the NBA season. Gordon Hayward, how he's going to fit in. How Gordon Hayward doesn't like Tom Brady, but he's going to make sure that he switches him up, to become a fan. I don't know how, but that's what he's going to try to do. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Pats looking good in the preseason, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm going to the last game, which is probably the worst game to go
of preseason.
to. Yeah,
you shouldn't say that out loud.
Well, I could.
I'm just kidding. That's still really good. I'm jealous, man. I wanted to go to a preseason game.
Would you come, man? Come along.
Yeah, you know what? I could probably go. When Oktoberfest drops, though, I am the happiest dude in the world. Yeah. No matter if it's 107 degrees in like August 27th. If I go into a bar and they got Oktoberfest, happiest dude.
Nice.
Not pumpkin spice though.
It's not that nice.
Bitch. Nice. Bitch. Yeah. That's Sean Dutra with Oktoberfest. You can follow him on Twitter at Sean Dutra. That's EAN.
Yeah.
And you can follow Sway and his pumpkin spice. Love for pumpkin spice.
You'll see a lot of pictures of Sway in leggings, Uggs, and pumpkin spice lattes coming up very soon.
You can also catch Sway on CLNS.
I'll be rocking hoodies.
With Trags now, right? New edition Trags to the CLNS family. Hell yeah. It's going to be good out the garden.
Hell yeah.
All good stuff coming up.
I can't wait, man.
Our prediction show is coming up. And our 100th episode is also coming up, too. We got good stuff coming up.
Yeah, man. A lot of stuff to look forward to.
Yeah, a lot of stuff, guys.
All right, I'm beat.
All right, bye.
All right, until next time.
Later.